Hello, this is Dean Phoenix with the next part of my Bioshock Infinite guide walkthrough for 1999 mode, assuming that we are doing a scavenger hunt achievement run where we're not buying anything from the dollar bill machines. So we come out of the Hall of Heroes, which is where we picked up last time. You got a couple of tears, you can get yourself some sniper rifle ammo, and then you can use the mosquito, which is very useful. So you take out all these guys, just snipe these around and things like that. It's really good. So you can clear out these guys just with all the regular sort of stuff, so sniping, using the tears, and then possessing one of them at a time as well. It's pretty easy if you just hang back. Even though we're on 1999 mode, you can take them out like that. So once you cleared this area, there's a couple of things that you want to watch out for. There is a piece of gear that we want to grab, and first of all you need a shock jockey, which we already have from doing the Hall of Heroes, and you can open this section. So you go up the stairs, and then on the right hand side there are a few things to pick up, a little bit more sniper rifle ammo, but when you come back and head round to the left hand side, you can grab a piece of gear. Now, this is going to be the part of the game where you can exploit the repeatable gear, exploit I suppose, and you can basically just come back to do this and then come back to the Holy Heroes and do it again and again and again and again and again and again. So I've done a separate video about this, and it's how you farm infinite gear and money doing that. Now, I wouldn't suggest that you do the whole 2 hours like I did. If you don't have the time or you can't be bothered, it's not an issue. This is how you do it. You possess that first machine, come down here, possess the fireman, and then jump down off the hook, run straight past the motorized Patriot so you don't have to fight it, and then you can possess the machines in this area, and for some reason all of this stuff respawns, and this is what the farming relates to, and there's an absolute ton of stuff that's really good to grab. So you grab a lockpick, you grab the wallets there, and all this money adds up as you get quite a few runs of this. You can do as many runs as you can be bothered, and it's all sustainable even though we're on 1999 mode. Small health pack also respawns just outside this toy shop if you've lost any health, and then you switch to shock jockey and you can grab this piece of gear, and this gear is the piece of gear that respawns every time, so it's absolutely amazing. So the first time you come down and do all this stuff, you want to grab that piece of gear I showed earlier in the video. Then there is also a piece of gear in this area, the non-respawning one, which is on the balcony of one of the rooms. So then the last place you want to visit each run is the ice cream shop, and that also has a cash register and some silver eagles outside, and more importantly a couple of wallets that also respawn every time. So then when you head back up, the motorized Patriot will have mysteriously disappeared. You can pick up these respawning salt pickups for the Bucking Bronco, and if you have the 8 infusions in salts, you can possess the fireman. Just head back up here with possession for less, and you can make use of that. So watch my full video about how you can get as many of the pieces of gear as you want, and I will cover which pieces of gear I would definitely recommend you get using that trick before we carry on, because I'm going to assume that there are a couple of key pieces of gear that we've got every time. So then we need to survive this next bit so that we don't lose all of our progress. That balcony that I just jumped up on there, by the way, with the hook, is where you can use shock jockey to get another piece of gear before you start the farming. So lay a load of the electric traps, as you saw there, the shock jockey traps, around the gondola. Lay a possession trap up on that particular higher vantage point, and then you can refill your salts before you use shock jockey on the gondola and pull that lever, which is what triggers Comstock sending all the people to try and kill us. So you come back up here, we've got the tear with the machine gun. We already put a possession trap there as well, and then I'm just going to show you the principles of how I would survive this area as easily as possible, because you really want to keep all of the progress that we've done from farming all the gear. So you can use possession to hit the rocket dudes, and they obviously kill a bunch of the other enemies, and then they will suicide themselves if you possess another one. So you can either possess all 3 of them, or you can try and snipe one like I do here. They do take a fair amount of damage and stuff, so it is sometimes a little easier just to kill them all. That salt pickup there is 100 salt as well, so it fully restocks your salt, and the rest of it is just going to be hanging out here and taking out the enemies as they come. So you have all of the resources you've been using to this point, and if that gun gets taken out like it does there, you can also swap the tear to be the cover, which is the large sort of board that will protect you there. So you take out those first lot of guys like that, then you can set another possession trap or whatever else. There'll be a couple of waves of guys that come up like that. Here I get caught out almost, but you can see you can just use Bucking Bronco and everything else. So after you take out all these guys, grab the 100 salts. There are medical kits in through a tear as well if you need to get your health back. And I'm using the Winter Shield, which is one of the gears that we will have picked up during the infinite gear farming. So that anytime you jump on and off the skyline, the Winter Shield will protect you because you get invulnerability from doing that. I like to use the motorised Patriot tear that brings through a Patriot of your own, and then the gondola platform brings down a Patriot there. It'll get caught in all the traps, and then between the motorised Patriot tear and a couple of sniper shots or rocket shots to its weak point in the back, you can take it out really easily, nice and safe. So when you've done all those, a couple more enemies to take out in a separate encounter, but they're just pretty easy, normal people. And then make sure you grab all of the money and the infusion that's on the airship. So you grab the infusion, I'll start putting them into shield, and pretty much just balance shields up to 8 first, and then finish off shield and infusions before we start putting the shield and salts, before we start putting the rest of them into health. So there you can see that my checkpoint is 7:28 PM, and then the next Finkton Docks checkpoint, which is after doing that battling and stuff, is about 9:49, so it's just over 2 hours. So this is what I started with: 2,900 crowns, 8 infusions in salt and 6 in the shield. And so far we've just got Blood to Salt, which is the one that I reset for, and Urgent Care, which is also the one that I reset for. No upgrades in any of the guns apart from the upgrades that you get for free, this being the Bioshock Infinite Special Edition, the remaster. And the only upgrades we've got are Possession for Less and Possession Aid for the figures. So fast forwarding that 2 hours or so, I actually did the gear farming till I got all of the gear, and that 2 hours I got about 9,630 Silver Eagles by the end of it, and 30 lockpicks, because you get a lockpick each time as well from the Founders Bookstore. So these are the main pieces of gear that you want to get. So you don't have to do the repeating gear trick until you get all of the pieces of gear. You just want to get the major ones. So you should have Blood to Salt already, but you want Winter's Vest and Winter Shield and Scavenger's Vest. Winter Shield is essential. You also want Headmaster if you can get that, and Brittle Skinned, which I make a lot of use of with the Charge Vigor. So I'm going to assume that you've got Urgent Care and Brittle Skinned for the pant slots, and you really want Overkill for the boot slot, because that and Vampire's Embrace are the really good ones. Again, Vampire's Embrace gives you health for melee kills, and that can be really good with Charge as well. So to sum up, you want Hill Runner's Hat and Sheltered Life for the hats. You want Blood to Salt, and Winter Shield is the incredibly crucial one. That's in the best piece of gear. And you want Overkill, and then you should have for the boot slot, and then we should have Urgent Care and Brittle Skinned for the pants. So you don't have to do it again and again and again until you get all of the gear, but you definitely want to get those crucial ones, I would say. So Hill Runner's Hat is good, but Sheltered Life is the best hat for me on 1999. You can see there that whilst wearing that, if you pick up any food or fruit, or even the sort of small salts pickups from like coffee and things like that, you get the invulnerable shield on your health bar. So you get a brief invulnerability from doing that, which is absolutely amazing. So this is how I would handle the Finkton Docks area. You can use whichever, anything that you feel comfortable with, weapons wise, whatever you've carried over. Probably best if you do keep the sniper rifle, but I have the carbine here instead, so I'll just go about showing you how you do this if you've not got the ideal weapons for it, depending what you ended up with at the end of that last section. So there's a few things to note here. Sheltered Life, instead of eating all the food straight away, there's a banana there that's always there behind that particular crate, and you want to make note of where things are so that you can leave them there. So you see there was a hot dog, so I just left that, and here there was just ammo, so you can pick up the ammo straight away. But if you're using Sheltered Life and something has snacks or health pickups, they can be really, really good to leave them in place and just sort of remember them and pick them up later. So as soon as you grab this stuff, the people will turn hostile to you. So I like to use the possession and shock jockey combo to possess one of those guys, and then grab all the rest of this stuff. There's a bunch of money to grab here. Now you see, every time I get a snack, I get some invulnerability from it, and it's just so good. So you can see here, use Bucking Bronco and the overkill boots. So every time I deal damage and kill those enemies, it pretty much always, or very nearly always, counts as excessive damage. And that lightning effect chains and makes the enemies more vulnerable, and so they take even more damage, which is why overkill is the best set of boots normally for me. So after a little while, you get these sort of sentries turn up, and you can possess those as well. You can see that Blood to Salt is still giving us a little bit of salt every now and then for the kills. Now the difficulty with this area is that a motorised Patriot turns up, and he can be quite difficult, but this is the way that I prefer to fight it here. So you can get critical headshots with the carbine or anything like that. You can possess the enemies there, and you see here, as he comes out of stun, he almost kills me, and this is where Sheltered Life is amazing. Because I deliberately left that hot dog there, so I knew it was there for me to grab. I could trigger Sheltered Life and be invulnerable whilst I went and found the next snack, and then again you can see, same thing, went and grabbed that banana I deliberately left there, and that again gave me some invincibility, and it works the same for health packs. There's a small health pack there, so you can use that as well. So you basically just make good use of your salts, health packs, any pickups like this, and you can use Sheltered Life in the hat slot, and it's just extremely useful for that kind of thing. So I just think it's a really great head piece of gear, and try and keep that. So here again, the Patriot will rip off a big chunk of health, but there's a med pack. I can grab the med pack, and then I can go and take them out. Because we also have shock jockey, the Patriots are a little easier to take out anyway, because you can repeatedly stun it with the shock jockey and everything else, and you can just stay behind cover. Urgent care will help you to regenerate your health each time, and then you can take out the Patriot nice and safely like that. So that is why Sheltered Life is absolutely amazing. Now, one of the other pieces of gear that I said was 100% essential to get from that repeating gear trick, even if you don't want to do it to get all of the gear, which I would perfectly, understand, is Winter Shield. And Winter Shield is ridiculous. Basically, every time you jump on or off a skyline, you will get an invulnerable shield, and it lasts for quite a little time. Instead of being like a second or two, it's actually a quite decent amount of time that it lasts for. And even when it does run out, you can just jump back on the skyline and off again, and it will, as you can see, give you that shield and make you invulnerable whilst it lasts. So this is really good, because this is one of the next little bits, and you can see here I use it to get the some progress towards the achievements for the season to taste for using the crank gun and all that stuff. But basically, you don't even have to use ammo. You can just skyline strike everything. So, like, as soon as you take any damage or that winter shield wears off, you can just jump on and off the skyline again. Now, this is also the first time that you encounter one of the enemies who has a new weapon, which is the Volley Gun. Now, I'm just going to quick note about the Volley Gun. I use it as one of my main weapons throughout this book, so even though this is a walkthrough, I'm not 100% going to recommend that this is what we do and always have the Volley Gun. If you've played the game already on the normal difficulty or anything, then you'll know if you like the Volley Gun or not. You have to be a little careful with it, because its ammo isn't very common, but I find that it's still, with tears and everything else, there are a couple of pickups for it, I find that it's common enough for me to be able to use it. So you may want to just stick with the shotgun, or you may want to use the Volley Gun. So I'll leave that choice up to you. I love the Volley Gun. It's really, really good. So that is the first time we get to use the Volley Gun, and you want to make sure that if you watch that other video about farming gear and money, that you can farm. If you can be bothered, you can farm a little bit extra and do that. But that will get you a bit of extra money. Allow us to buy some good upgrades going forward, and especially get those key gears. So please like, comment and subscribe, and watch the rest of the walkthrough for how we carry on with 99 mode being super overpowered. Thank you very much.